Thanks to Dow Strong for sponsoring this video. On today's video, I'm gonna show you my entire trip to Italy. I had some good food, but most importantly, I've learned quite a bit. If you plan on going to Italy, get ready, as there will be an incredible amount of amazing food. However, you can get completely ripped off if you don't know what you're doing. Get comfortable because I'm about to share everything with you. The good, the bad, and the ugly. And when you're in Italy, you first gotta start out with some breakfast.
So apparently Italians eat very different than us, especially breakfast. In the United States, we eat, bacon and eggs. What do Italians eat for breakfast?
No, in Italy, no eggs and bacon. Only croissant, cappuccino, super easy.
Okay.
You'll see now.
Grazie.
And that's the Italian breakfast. Choco.
Oh, that's so good. Wow, it's delicious.
Now that is called Caffè Speciale. It is amaretto, which is an Italian liquor, cappuccino, lemon zest, and whipped cream. Mix that whole thing up together and serve it to the customer, and it is delicious. It tastes like a very mild Baileys. Now the croissant is quite different.
Check out what they have inside, everybody. It's like a cream. That looks crazy good.
This croissant is super flaky, but what makes it for me is the cream inside. It tasted similar to creme brulee, and I could eat 1,000 of these.
This is very dangerous, Vito, because you can eat a lot of them.
I know.
And that is an Italian breakfast. An alcoholic drink with coffee and an incredible croissant. Totally different than what we have in the US. But I'll be honest with you, I did miss some crispy bacon. But no problem, because what's coming up next was gonna take all of my cravings away.
So right now we are in the Mercato Centrale in Florence.
This place has a lot of different things, including small little bites. And even though it's quite crowded, the first thing I wanted to try was a sandwich, a porchetta sandwich.
Cheers.
Now that was a reaction I was not expecting, because this is actually what the sandwich looks like. I mean, you can clearly see that we got a crispy bun. It is hollow inside, but take a look at this porchetta. Even though it looks like it has a lot of flavor with spices, this thing is as dry as the Sahara Desert. I was not expecting that bite at all. Whenever you make pork, it has to be juicy. It has fat for a reason. But I mean, take a look at it. When you give me something like this, you're gonna get a reaction.
Oh man, dry. The bread is like a rock. He didn't even warm up the sandwich for me. He just got one that has been sitting there for a while and just gave it to me. What a disappointment.
That was not pleasant, but I quickly cheered up as soon as I saw this. It is one of the things that you will find it everywhere in Rome. Now the interesting thing is that each place has their own different toppings. And the best part is that you can order everything by the slice. Get as much as you want or as little as you want. Every single one of them look more appetizing than the other. So I went ahead and ordered a full tray. And he does heat everything up for you right before you're eating it. And as you can see, these were my top picks.
So this one right here has ham, stracciatella, and obviously the beautiful bread on the bottom. Oh my God, that's good. I mean, how can you go wrong with ham, cheese, and bread? You can't. But this place does warm up the bread, so it makes the bread nice, hot, and crunchy. That's so good, man. Wow. This caramelized onion and stracciatella really caught my attention, everybody. Take a look at that. That looks phenomenal. Sweet, savory, crunchy bread. Pretty sure they put a lot of olive oil right here, or they fried the whole onions on olive oil. And then lastly, we have this one right here with some peppers, some cheese, and that beautiful bread on the bottom. I don't think this one can beat the other two. Yeah, I mean, it's good, but roasted pepper and cheese. This caramelized onion ones is a whole nother level.
Now, even though the other two was fantastic, this one looked a lot better on the shelf because it's just roasted tomatoes and cheese. And the taste was definitely not my favorite. That's why I went ahead and chose one of the most iconic street foods in Italy. This is arancini, a rice ball that has several different fillings. It's a must-have when you're there.
So arancini is basically an outer crust of rice. They put some different types of fillings, then they bread the whole thing and deep fry it and serve it to you. Oh wow. It's just cheesy, gooey, hammy goodness. And the fried rice on the outer exterior, it's amazing. That cheese hanging out, it's on a whole nother level. Street food at its finest.
Oh yeah, that arancini was on a whole nother level. Same thing goes for the Italian breakfast and all of those iconic breads, you can find it everywhere. But then I decided to hit up Naples. In Italy, they call it Napoli. It is the pizza capital of the world. And even though I really wanted to eat pizza, this happened.
All right. All right.
Now you're probably wondering how I got here. Well, this is one of the most popular things you see everywhere. It's a lemonade, but unlike any other ones you've ever seen before.
So he cuts up the lemon, put the lemon directly on the juicer, just like that. Juice the lemon, put the lemon juice in there. Oh,
Prego,
Vito. All right. All right. Oh, it's sour, lemony, cold, delicious, and a mess. Welcome to Naples. Woo! Good job.
That was a Sicilian lemonade made with freshly squeezed lemon, a little bit of sparkling water, and to blow the whole thing up, they add a spoon of baking soda. And you gotta drink it quickly. And most importantly, make sure you spread your legs. But after eating all of those carbs and washing it down with this acidic drink, it was time to eat some protein. And we found the right spot.
Buongiorno, buongiorno. Piacere, Jenny.
Nice to meet you. Okay, so he's gonna make me his special.
Voila.
Starting with
My
mortadella.
cup, mortadella.
Wow.
Voila. Come on, come on.
Yes, yes, yes. And then here. Oh wow, it goes in the cup. Amazing. Okay.
Pesto sauce basil.
Wow. Oh, he coats the whole thing with it.
Buffalo mozzarella.
Oh wow, he has a pool of mozzarella.
This is no fish. This is buffalo mozzarella. No fish.
It looks-
buffalo mozzarella.
It looks like a fish tank of mozzarella. Wow,
Wow.
that's crazy.
Et voila.
And then he sliced it all up.
Voila.
Wow, wow.
Wow.
Goes in the cup.
Wow. Another mortadella.
Wow. That looks insane.
Wow. E per finire, di
And
nuovo pesto di basilico.
oh my
E
God.
Voila.
Are you kidding me? Chef.
My favorite cup. The
Oh
best
my
one.
God. Take a look
Wow.
at this. Thank
Wow.
you, chef.
Thank you. Enjoy. Enjoy, man.
Wow. You know, sometimes you try certain things and it leaves you speechless. I mean, it's just good quality ingredients. Mozzarella is phenomenal. Did you guys see the pool of mozzarella that he has? 10 out of 10. This just hits different. Wow, that's crazy. Now it's time for a sandwich.
Ecco, taglio il mio mega sfilatino per il magnifico, famoso e popolare panino San Gennaro, fatto con pesto di basilico alla base. Voilà, pomodoro San Marzano, lo vado a tagliare. E voilà. Ovviamente lo condiamo con sale e olio. Voilà. Magnifica mozzarella di bufala che non può mai mancare. E voilà. Aspetta.
But this is after the sandwich, everybody.
Non può mai mancare la mia mozzarella di bufala. Voilà. Wow, eccola qui. Mortadella. Come on, come on, come
Oh,
on.
fresh one.
Oh.
Wow, a generous amount. Unbelievable. Wow, good job. Now
Chiudo
that is a
il
sandwich.
paninazzo.
Wow. Unbelievable sandwich. Are you kidding me? You ready to try that one, Vito?
Oh my God. Wow.
Take a look at that.
Juicy.
Cheers. Wow. Very delicious sandwich. You guys just saw the whole experience there, everybody. What really comes through on this one is the pesto sauce. I'll be honest, this sandwich is gonna be hard to beat. One of my favorite things to eat is mortadella, so this one's gonna be hard. Fresh ingredients. Wow, amazing. Wow. So right now we're gonna try the pizza portafolio, also known as a wallet pizza, everybody. Grab the pizza, fold the whole thing up, just like that, and give it to you. There you go. Oh, we got the pizza Vito. Open the pizza Vito. What a mess, huh? Almost seems like they don't respect the pizza Vito. Pizza portafolio. I mean, honestly,
Guga, what do you want? It's street food, you know what I mean? That's why they call it pizza portafolio.
That right there is equal to Little Caesar that we have here in the United States. It wasn't a good pizza, but it's cheap, you grab it on the go, and move on to the next best thing, which for me is going to be this, affogato. Now, if you are unfamiliar with it, let me explain. It's made with fresh coffee, but notice there's something different in this cup. There are a few variations, but the most traditional is with vanilla ice cream.
so that right there is the first gelateria here in Florence. The affogato is basically ice cream with freshly made coffee. I'm a coffee lover. I love gelato. I never had it. I've heard a lot about it. I think it's gonna be a sweet, sweet breakfast. So all of the good stuff, there's always a line, big line. So what is the affogato? Ice cream?
Yes.
I ordered 3 of them and it was 29 euros, but I also got 2 small little croissants. But apparently you're supposed to scoop it out the ice cream and oh, it's good. Oh, it's delicious. Wow. So it's slightly sweet. It's ice cream and coffee, everybody. You can imagine how this tastes. Wonderful coffee flavor. Come on, man. Almost looks like butter. Once the ice cream has completely melted, it's a little bit too sweet for me, but it's very good.
If you are a sweet lover, you're gonna love affogato. But after that delicious sugar rush, it was time to try something savory. And there was one sandwich that was in my bucket list, made by this master. He is not only charismatic, but also him and I have something in common, and all his other chefs as well. Now for this sandwich,
Ok Guga, questi sono gli ingredienti per il nostro panino al polpo, the best one.
For this sandwich, he first warms up the octopus on a pan, slices up his homemade bread, adds some green, a tiny bit of olive oil, roasted bell peppers, a monster burrata, followed by that beautiful octopus. Now that is a sandwich I can eat all day, every day.
Wow. Mamma mia.
Best sandwich of octopus in Bari. Oh yeah.
Oh, wow.
The name is U Pulp.
The only thing left to do was slice it up so that we can share.
Oh my God. Wow.
Bravo, bravo.
Cheers, my friend. Wow.
It's fresh.
It's so tender, the octopus, everybody. Wow, that is delicious. I understand why this place is extremely popular. There's a line outside all the time. They have some incredible food here. It's juicy. The burrata is incredible. The bread on the top right here that he puts in.
It's soft and crunchy in the same time.
It's something crunchy at the same time.
But Mastro Chicho was not done yet, because he wanted to show me one of his specialties. And the way it's made blew my mind. He first opens up a pizza dough, adds a tiny bit of sauce, followed by shredded beef cheek, Parmigiano Reggiano, a good quality olive oil, a whole burrata goes right on top, close the whole thing up, put some Ritz cracker on the bottom, and deep fry the whole thing. Now this is a mad scientist just like me. The final shot is to slice it up. And when he does, oh boy, take a look at that. Juicy, crispy pastry, a little bit of meat inside. Now that is creativity at its best.
Oh, with the burrata inside. Oh, cheers.
I'm gonna keep this one real short because I actually did it as a side dish on my main channel. That will be coming real shortly.
That is amazing. Finger looking good. It is hot though, very, very hot.
My next stop, Mercato Centrale in Rome. Now they have a lot of different things here, including pastry, cannolis, Roman pizzas, and even this sandwich that instead of having a bun, they deep fry cheese.
The famous bistecca florentina. Wow, they have quite a bit. And it's getting it down over there. Wow, look at the size of that bistecca florentina. Maybe I should have some. There's one thing here that caught my attention, and it doesn't even look like a steak, but it looks like a filet mignon. I think it has meat glue.
Meat glue is an enzyme that allows meat to glue together and deceiving you to buy a more expensive steak. This is not a filet mignon, but definitely looks like one. But let's get back to eating. Next up, maybe one of the most popular street foods in Italy. Not only can you find it everywhere, but supposedly it is delicious, and it's called supli.
They have actually quite a few of them. We have cacio e pepe, carbonara, pomodoro. I think I'm gonna get a few of them, everybody. I gotta see how good this thing supli actually is.
So supli is a rice ball, basically a risotto rice that is cooked in different flavors. Then it's deep fried with a crunchy crust. This first one I'm trying out is carbonara.
There's a piece of guanciale right there. I thought it was going to be super creamy, but it's really, really not. And I thought it was going to be cheesy, gooey. This one specifically is a little bit dry, and the rice is kind of like al dente. Not my favorite. This is the supli of cacio e pepe, one of my favorite pastas. Oh, this one seems a lot cheesier than the previous one. Ah. Oh wow, this one is so much more superior than the previous one. I like this one a lot.
So with that experience, I learned a few things about supli. They are not created equal. Having the rice al dente is not a good thing. And you definitely want to make sure that it's nice and moist inside. Adding cheese definitely helps. Because the next thing I wanted to try is going to be really moist.
What do you put in there? Chicken and cream?
Chicken. No, no cream. In Italian, we don't use
Come on, no heavy cream.
In Italy, we don't use cream.
Okay, no cream. Grazie. This is trapezzino. Now the guy obviously got completely offended. I don't mean anything bad by it, but check it out. This is what it looks like. Basically a pizza with a good amount of filling. And I love that it has protein and chicken. All right. Holy sh**. That tastes 10 times better than it looks, everybody. Doesn't look great, I'll be honest with you. Looks like they just threw together some chicken, put a little bit of stock, and call it a day. But that is not the case. I was not expecting this to be this good. I take everything back what I said about the creaminess. There's no cream here at all. I understand now why he got offended, and rightfully so.
Never offend an Italian. They might come back to hunt you. And if you go to Italy, you must have gelato.
So it is super hot. We're going to get some gelato.
Made with several different flavors. It's a creamy, cold, sweet treat that you must have. We just call it ice cream.
Thank you so much. Wow, that is huge.
Non lo so.
Gelato is so creamy. They make it so fast. I love the way that she swirls everything and just
Can
put
I
it on
taste the
top.
gelato?
I understand why it's so popular because it's so good.
After all that eating, there's one place I wanted to visit. This is one of the most iconic places you can go in Rome. You've seen it in movies, you've seen it in many things, and I had to go check it out.
And that right there is the Colosseum. So right away, the first thing for me is the size. I thought it was smaller, but when you get close to it, it is very, very large and quite impressive. No wonder why it's one of the wonders of the world.
It is difficult to put it in words how impressive it is. Believe me when I tell you, pictures does not do its justice. This thing is huge, and the fact that it's still standing up today is incredible, because it is almost 2,000 years old.
Wow.
After all that sightseeing, I was craving some steaks, and a good old friend took me to a steakhouse. But I was not expecting this to happen.
I respect the pasta. He respect the meat. Put the salt on the meat, everybody. Put the salt on the meat.
Yep, that actually happened. Me schooling Italian chefs on steaks. And it was the last thing I thought was gonna happen on my Italy trip. But once my friend Vito made me aware of the sin that they're making to steaks, I had to investigate.
What do you think it's the number one problem that they have here?
They have several problems. That's what I learned from you. And then I think that the first mistake is they don't put seasoning, they don't put salt, they don't put pepper, they don't put garlic powder, they don't put any season, zero, completely zero. That's the first. Second is from the grill, they cut it right away. And the third thing is raw. Inside is raw. The steak in Italy sucks.
You heard it from the man.
From Italian guy.
I'll be going to two different steakhouses to find out the real problem. The very first one will be in Bari, south of Italy. And the next one will be the #1 rated steakhouse in Florence. Because there they serve the most famous Italian steak, bistecca alla Florentina. And when in Florence, you must have one. First up, the best steakhouse in Bari. It is called Saborosa. And I was quite shocked on the quality of meat that they have there.
See, Sam, it smells like
Now
your
we're
office
talking.
Here. Smells like your office here.
Yes, that looks incredible.
I was very impressed with the selection of beef. You already know you can find a lot of carbs in Italy, but the fact that this shop had so many variations, I was impressed. And you know it's a really good butcher shop when they have the queen, picanha. But not only that, he also showed me a dry-aged picanha. So he went ahead and asked me to cut some steaks out of it.
I'm gonna take a nice, beautiful cut here.
Mi piace più questo che il wagyu.
Wow. Two beautiful picanhas. Now we're gonna go ahead and trim it.
I want you to realize and understand one thing here. You see this yellow fat? This is a very important thing whenever you're buying beef. It's a sign of two things. Number one, that it's an older cow, and number two, it was mostly grass-fed. Here in the United States, we usually avoid it because it will never be as good as grain-fed.
You always want to leave a 1/4 inch. Never remove all of the fat out.
This is the biggest mistake most people make when trimming a picanha. They think the more fat they leave it, the better it's gonna be. And that will be wrong. A 1/4 inch, just like a brisket, is the perfect ratio. You don't want to bite in too much fat. But even though these are my favorite steaks, when in Italy, you must have bistecca florentina. So they wanted me to try that as well. And you can clearly see that this one was dry aged. To be specific, for 35 days. Next, to cook these steaks.
Cook it the way you cook it. Yes, we want to try the authentic Italian way. So the good thing is that he's going to cook it straight up right here on the grill, everybody, and it is a charcoal grill. All right.
I feel sorry when there is like this on the grill.
This is one of the biggest mistakes throughout this video. There is zero seasoning. And the reason why is not what you think. You will understand very shortly.
Immediately here you can see the yellow fat. And the yellow fat, that's what it means, that it is actually grass-fed. You can tell that also all the way back over there, nice and yellow. It's going to have a different flavor, a different mouthfeel. Now I'm excited to try it.
So he went ahead and finished up cooking the steak, serving it the most traditional way, which is called al sangre, also known as rare.
It's no salt, anything. They just serve it like this.
Oh, they give it to you, no salt at all?
Nothing. That's the problem.
No salt? What?
No comment.
Not only there's no seasoning, they don't let the steak rest at all and immediately cut it and serve it to you. But I'm sorry, I was not gonna eat any beef without salt, so I kindly asked him to add some.
You gotta have salt, everybody.
Grazie.
What do you think? What do you think, Vito, so far?
You know what I think.
Vito don't want to say, everybody, but here's the deal. See how they didn't render the fat? So the fat is not rendered. You definitely want to render that fat. If not, it's just going to be chewy and it's not the best mouthfeel. And that's the reason I really like to render that fat. If not, I will cut the fat out. Let's try it, Vito. I put a lot of seasoning. Cheers. You know what it reminds me? Meat from Brazil. Because meat from Brazil is mainly grass-fed.
Brazilian meat and Argentinian meat are quite similar. They're normally grass-fed, but don't get me wrong, they have both on these countries. And since grass-fed there is cheaper, it's mostly what is served to you, because the grain-fed, they send everything to the United States. But does it mean that this meat is bad?
The meat is good.
Yes.
But if you don't put salt, it's not going to be good.
I like it, but I think it's too plain for me.
At this stage, I had all eyes on me, and he asked me how I will cook it differently than the way that he did.
If he caramelizes the fat, that there's no caramelization on the fat. If you caramelize the fat, it's going to be so much better.
How do you caramelize the fat?
So
you
you
cook the fat, you
so,
put the pot
so,
oil.
so when you start the picanha, he immediately put it on the grill, like on the side like this. Don't do that. Instead of starting with the meat, start with the fat. So caramelize the fat, get a golden brown color on the fat, and it will become butter.
But I was still confused why they don't use any salt or seasoning at all.
How come they don't put salt? I don't understand.
Perché non mettete il sale, dice?
Vedi che qualcuno lo vuole e se lo mette a tavola.
Some people, they don't want it. People don't want salt.
That's not possible. I think they think that way. If they put it without people knowing, will people say that it's too salty? You think so?
This conversation went on for quite some time.
We're having a salt debate, everybody. Put it in the comments down below. Do you season your meat with salt or you eat your meat with no salt? What? What?
But what was said next completely shocked me.
Why he say?
He's talking about what the cow eats. He said that the cow in USA they eat more. It's more sweet. For him, the cow here it's already salted, basically.
I respect the pasta. He respect the meat. Put the salt on the meat, everybody. Put the salt on the meat.
This is one of the most ludicrous things I've ever heard in my life. The cow is naturally salted? Come on now. Beef are all the same. Yes, they do have different flavors, but salt is a flavor enhancer, not a flavor modifier like rubs or sauces.
For the seasoning thing, he said that unfortunately here people, they want it like this, with nothing.
So let me tell you something, okay? All the Italians, hear me out, right? You teach me how to eat pizza.
Yes.
You teach me how to eat pasta. I teach you how to eat meat. Season the meat before, okay? You have to season your meat. If you don't put seasoning on your meat, it's it's not gonna taste as good.
agree.
Also, you don't wanna eat it raw. You want it medium rare. It's
Officially,
better.
yes.
I can eat raw meat, it's no problem. But you have to cook it properly and season it before.
They eat the meat here raw.
I understand.
This,
If you enjoy it, it's totally fine. But it's not the optimum way. There's many different ways to eat pasta. You don't have to cook al dente if you don't want to. But the right way, what's the right way?
you have to cook it al dente.
You have to cook it al dente. That's the correct way for you to enjoy it. Same thing with the meat. If you like eating raw meat, everybody, it's totally fine. But it's good.
Esatto, buonissima.
Can it be better? Yes, it can be better.
Yes, I've dedicated the last 10 years of my life researching and experimenting on how to make the best steaks possible. And I've learned a lot. And if there's one important thing, is to season it properly. But then the steak Florentina arrived.
Here we have the bistecca Florentina, everybody. I believe that this would be the filet mignon side. Let me try. The picanha is so much better than the Florentina. Try the Florentina. Overcooking the meat is not a good thing. They definitely didn't overcook it, but sometimes they cook it a little bit too raw.
But this is not where they specialize on bistecca Florentina, as that is coming up next because I'm gonna go all the way to Florence. So on our way to our next steakhouse, my good friend Vito said that when you come to Bari, you must try a delicacy. I thought he was trolling me, but I went in with an open mind.
È possibile ordinare le orecchiette con la braciola?
Certo.
I don't know what you said, but yes.
We just ordered the orecchiette, typical plate, un piatto, just the tasting.
Yes, sounds good. Let's go.
Sit. Here we go.
Wow.
Questo è un tipico piatto barese, orecchiette con la braciola.
Orecchiette with braciola. Sounds delicious to me. Now, one of the things that I learned about Italy is that each region has their own specialty on pasta, and Bari is no different. This is what they specialize in, and I went to meet the master to see how it was made.
Buongiorno.
Grazie. So she's making it now, the orecchiette.
It's just water, huh?
Water and semolina.
With only 2 ingredients, you can really see how expert she is. She makes it look like it's nothing. In the end, you are left with this beautiful traditional pasta from Bari. This is the typical dish from Bari. It looked delicious to me, but I was in for a big surprise.
Split that thing in half. Look
Okay.
at this. Get the fork. Oh, look, how tender it is.
Soft and tender, not
Yes.
crunchy.
No, no crunchy.
Cheers, brother.
Chin.
Oh, the tomato sauce is so good. And the meat is delicious.
It's not beef.
It's not beef? Wait, what? What do you mean it's not beef?
Give me a vote to this meat.
So, strong.
Strong flavor.
Delicious flavor. Very tender, very juicy.
Yeah.
Is this horse meat?
It is also.
It is horse meat. It's good.
What?
But I didn't think I was going to be eating horse.
I was not expecting to have this kind of meat in Bari, but I must be honest with you. It tastes very similar to beef, just stronger. But now it was time to head over to Florence, maybe one of the most beautiful cities in Italy. And if you're a beef lover like me, it's a city you must visit, because we all know Italy is full of carbs, so it's nice to go ahead and stack up on some protein.
Una lacrima e mi credette di affogare e voglio bene assai.
Welcome to Florence, everybody. We are here to try one thing and one thing only. That would be steak alla Florentina. I'm really hoping that it's going to be okay because I've heard terrible things. You guys already saw it. So my hopes are not very high. But at the same time, I cannot come to Florence and not have this wonderful and very famous steak. I just hope I'm not disappointed because when you're in Italy, you want to eat some good food. You know what I'm saying? Well, I'm excited. Let's see.
So the first thing I did was to go to Google and find out the best steakhouse there is. And this was the winner, Trattoria del Oste. Not only does it have almost perfect score, it has over 24,000 reviews. And on my way there, I came across something incredible, which I thought it was just a painting.
So when I saw this on many videos, pictures, I thought it was just painted, everybody, but that is 100% made out of stone. It is a beautiful city, but let's eat.
Yep, Florence is beautiful, and this definitely stands out from everything else. But it was now time to get to the trattoria.
So we just arrived. They have a meat case. I even see that they have Wagyu as well. I gotta be honest, the restaurant looks pretty interesting, everybody. It looks pretty good.
12 seconds later.
We're waiting for 40 minutes, and I had reservations, everybody. Not looking good. Why do you need a reservation? If you're gonna have to wait anyway.
After the long wait, I got in. And I gotta say, this is a beautiful restaurant. The decor is 10 out of 10. And they also have a picture of someone very important.
So that is the father of barbecue in Brazil, everybody. And the fact that he has them there is incredible.
This is Marcos Bassi, a Brazilian that has taught many people on how to cook things properly. It made me extremely happy to see that.
Well, one good thing here is that they don't have a picture of Salt Bay. That's good. That's very good.
So after sitting down at my table and looking through the menu, I asked to talk to the chef because I had a very important question.
How does Italian people like their meat?
So in Florence, usually it's like we prefer rare, but in different parts of Italy, it's like in the south of Italy, we prefer medium well. I know we cook the steak.
Medium well.
Medium well.
How does he cook it? With charcoal or does he cook it with electric grill in the back? How do you season the meat?
Diretta, poi il sale alla fine lo mettiamo.
No, so you don't season the meat at all, so he just put the salt in the end. Is that how he cooks it?
Yes.
Does he feel like that's the best way?
He thinks it's the best because you can taste the real meat.
I respectfully disagree that you should season the meat. So I don't want anything special. I want it exactly the way that he makes it.
Okay.
What does the chef recommend? What do I order?
Because you are in Florence, you should try the Chianina steak because it's a local beef.
Chianina beef. It is an Italian breed of cow. This is what it looks like, and it is served throughout many steakhouses in Italy. And I had one last question to ask.
How are you going to cook it?
Al sangue.
Rare, al sangue.
Rare. Okay. Cook it the Italian way. Are you going to season it?
Cose sopra oppure no? No.
Okay. All right. We're getting what the chef recommended, everybody. That's it. Let's go.
Usually Italian has steaks with wine. I wanted a local beer. Funny enough, they served it to me on a wine glass. There was nothing wrong with that. And of course, appetizers started arriving. And the very first one was this.
It's a bruschetta with ragu on top. I think this is their specialty. I'll be honest with you, everybody. This looks very appetizing. They have plenty of meat in there, which is a good thing. Let's give this bruschetta a try. That just hits the right spot, everybody. I think all bruschetta should be like this, made with beef. Forget the tomato and balsamic like normally we do. This is the way to do it right.
That was a fantastic bruschetta. And what we order next might be even better because, I mean, take a look at it. Who does not love spaghetti and meatballs?
Let's give this a go. Cheers.
Oh, wow.
If you come to this restaurant, eat this. Damn, this is good. That's a 10 out of 10.
Unlike the spaghetti and meatballs that we have here in the US, take a look at the size of these balls. They are much smaller, and also the spaghetti is much thicker. This was absolutely delicious. A true 10 out of 10 for me, because the next dish we got looked a little sus.
They went ahead and brought another pasta for my wife. This one here is garganelli with white ragu. It looks very interesting, the shape of the pasta. I've never seen anything like this before. It's my first time. But nevertheless, white ragu. What makes it white ragu? That's interesting. I'm gonna give it a shot. Let's see. Oh, very mild flavor, a little bit meaty, a little bit cheesy, but most importantly, it has meat, so it's good. But definitely the meatball is a lot better.
If you come to Italy, you must have pasta. But I'll be honest with you, I was looking forward to the steak. Enough about the carbs. Let's get some protein.
Wow, what a nice presentation. It looks very good, honestly. And it does seem rare. Salt? Very good. So this man gave me some ketchup, everybody. I was a little bit shocked. That is completely raw. It is completely raw, everybody. I mean, as raw as it gets. Now, I'll say this, okay? There is nothing wrong about eating raw meat. I could just ate it when the chef brought it over here. But it's chewy, everybody. It's not the best way. Look at this. I'm trying to cut this steak, and it takes a while to cut it. And if you notice, there's a piece of silver skin there in the middle. That's going to be super chewy and not very good. Let's give this a go right now. Definitely with a little bit of salt. Give it a try. I'll be honest, everybody. It is not the best way to cook a steak. I mean, I don't think the beef has any issues at all. The beef is good. It's completely raw. I'm basically eating like beef tartare, not the optimum way to cook it. I want you to be the judge. Would you eat it like this? Is this the optimum way of having beef? Let me show you why the bistecca fiorentina is not the best kind of steak, okay? Because as you know, there are two types of steaks. One is a New York strip and the other one is a filet mignon. A filet mignon cooked at different temperature as a New York strip. So you have to be really, really careful. And when you're cooking the whole thing together, one will get more cooked than the other. Let me show you. Check out the filet mignon, everybody. Even though that was rare, you see, that's why this steak is not my favorite, but let's see. It's very tender, it's very good, but there's no seasoning. Thank you, my love. My wife just passed me the salt. It's tender, even though it's cooked a little bit longer. I actually like this a little bit more pleasant than the rare version. This one is much better. Again, I have no problem with rare beef. Look at this. Medium rare, it's cooked a little bit longer, it's gonna be more tender, it's gonna be juicier. Now let me tell you something about the local beef. It's not as fatty, okay? So it has less marbling, but it's very good.
This local beef is delicious. Obviously, it's not going to be well marbled and high quality like a Wagyu steak, but it is something local and something the chef definitely got it right recommending it to me. Here are the biggest issues I had with this steak. Number one, it was al sangre, also known as raw. It is not the best way to have a steak. That's because it's slightly chewy and the flavor is extremely mild. On that note, you already know that they don't season the steak at all. And when you put salt on top of the steak, that is just superficial, because instead of having the whole thing flavored with salt, it's just that little top part. And I truly believe that's not the best way. If you want to know the best way to salt your steak, that would be to salt brine it, which is to leave it overnight. But I understand for restaurants that's unacceptable, as they gotta cook the steaks to order. Lastly, this steak was not cooked on charcoal, but I'm not gonna hold that against them, because not every steakhouse is able to have that luxury. And I just hope that moving forward, all chefs that cook steak use a thermometer. It is the only true way to know the exact core temperature of your steak. Medium rare will produce a juicier steak, a better overall mouthfeel, and the customers will like it 10 times more.
After all that eating, it was time to do some sightseeing. I had to check out the Pantheon.
Maybe the second most visited place in Rome. It's a sight to see, everybody. It is big, it is old.
And everyone that visits Italy comes here to see it. There's also another thing that is very popular, and that would be this, the Trevi Fountain in Rome.
It is very crowded. There's a tremendous amount of people. Check it out, everybody behind me.
Depending on the time you come, you can expect a crowd. However, this is a beautiful place and a must-see while you're there. But when you go to Italy, you know you must have some pizza. And I'm about to eat every single one of them.
Some are going to be traditional, just like this one here where everything started. And some are just going to be absolutely insane. But first, let's back up, as this is where everything started.
On this video, I'm going to be trying every single one I can find. Yes, we will have the traditional ones, but there are some pizza I've tried that I've never heard or seen before. And on today's video, my goal is to claim the #1 pizza for me, because the winner was not what I expected. Even though I'll be going to the classics, but I also tried the #1 rated pizza in the planet. Let's see how that one stacks up with the rest, because the very first stop was where the Margherita pizza was invented. Maybe the most iconic pizza of them all, this one was created for royalty, the queen. And the idea of the chef was that he wanted to make it look like the Italian flag, and it was all done here in Pizza Brandi. They still have their original oven, and I got the chef to go ahead and show us how it's done. The original dough from the beginning still applies. Stretches like a pro, add a generous amount of tomato sauce, mozzarella cheese, of course you gotta add the basil, a good amount of olive oil, and right into the original oven it goes. This pizza takes 90 seconds to cook. And to finish it up, he put it inside of the original delivery box.
We close it, and now we're going to deliver this pizza to a friend of mine. Ta-da, da-da-da-da-da-da. Deliver it to a special person, my friend Guga. Are you ready?
What is that?
From
Yes.
Miami. Welcome to the first ever pizzeria.
Oh, wow, that is incredible. Ching ching.
Bye.
Bye. Wow, you taste the history,
Yes.
the original, where everything started, Pizza Brandi. They still make it today, everybody, the same way that they was made for the queen.
Insane taste.
Delicious.
A true classic and a must-stop whenever you come to Italy. Many other people think that the original one came from a different place, and we'll go over that later on, because after having the original version of Neapolitan-style pizza, nowadays we went south, as we're all in a hurry and look for something convenient.
So right now we're gonna try the pizza portafoglio, also known as a wallet pizza, everybody. Street food of Naples.
Yeah, this might not be the best quality, because they're trying to mass-produce everything as fast as possible. So we traded craftsmanship for convenience, trying to get a quick bite.
Pizza portafoglio. Honestly, it's the perfect street food on the go, you know what I mean? Grab it and go.
Grab it and go. Let's go.
Maybe one of the worst pizzas I tried in Naples. If you just want to get your belly full, this is something you should try, because it's cheap, convenient, and quick. But there's so many others better. Take for example the next one. Maybe one of the most famous one of them all because it was in the movies, Eat, Pray, Love. And funny enough, I can't believe people on the line think that this is the original pizzeria.
Why'd you decide to come to this place?
Because this place is famous. This is where pizza was born.
And our Airbnb.
No, that's not true.
It's not true?
That's not true.
Eat, pray, love.
That's
Sorry.
a movie.
Yes, my friends, the movie made this one famous. But if you want to try the original one, you have to go to Brandy. Not to take anything from Pizzeria Michele, because there's always a line for two reasons. Obviously, the movie made it famous, but it is inexpensive, the pizza is quite different, there's a big history behind it, and they are proud of it. The daughter of the owner took me around to see everything that they've done so far. But in all honesty, I wanted to try this pizza and understand why it was so popular. The way they make it, it's quite similar to the Brandy pizza, but there's one huge differences between them. After stretching up the dough, I noticed that this one is much larger. They also add a lot more sauce. And after adding all the other toppings, the stretch makes this pizza even larger. And to cook it, they go right into the original oven. And this one is way larger than the previous one. Using wood oven, they are able to fit 10 pizzas inside of it. They pump out pizza like it was a fast food restaurant, but with great quality ingredients you would expect from Italy. And in the end, you are left with this. Yep, this one is quite different.
Okay, wow. It has arrived, everybody.
What do you think, Guga? So
It's very different from all of the other pizzas that we had. Completely different. It's much larger. It's also more wet. Yeah.
Usually they eat it with fork and knife because for a reason. But
You
if
cannot
wanna
pick
eat
it up.
Flip it over.
Look, Vito, I'm a professional.
Oh, yours is it's okay, but mine now. Try the what are you doing? You don't like basil?
You took the basil out. Why you take the basil out?
What are you doing?
What are you doing? You don't eat
look,
greens.
Look how she's
You're like
getting...
my nephew, Angel. He don't eat greens. Cheers. Very different pizza. The crust, I'm used to Vito's pizza, which is supposed to be soft and crunchy. This one here, as you can see, the edges is just completely flat. I love that it's inexpensive. About $7 for a pizza. Where in the world are you gonna get a $7 pizza, everybody? That's crazy.
The all-new $7 deal lovers menu at Pizza Hut.
Alright, editors, very, very funny. But nevertheless, this was a very different pizza. Extremely wet, it is not soft and crunchy, but it is what you would expect from a Neapolitan-style pizza. Because the next one is not. It is what I like to call taking creativity to a whole nother level, as this next one does not even go in the oven, but deep fried.
It's the best pizza in Italy.
He's the king of the pizza fritta, the best.
Yes, there you go. All right, let's make the pizza frita.
Okay, let's go.
Now to make this one, it starts off as a regular pizza. After he stretches it, he spreads a generous amount of ricotta cheese on the bottom, followed by some cured meat, a generous amount of mozzarella, season it really well, then a tiny bit of tomato sauce, close it up real good, and immediately throws in the fryer, because this is a fried pizza, also known as pizza fritta. It takes a while to cook. It's not done in seconds, and he just keeps basting it until it's fully cooked. And in the end, you are left with this.
Pizza frita. Wow.
Buon appetito.
Grazie, chef. Oh, it's so hot.
It's too hot.
It's very hot.
Very hot.
Oh my God, it's so hot. Look at the size of this thing. I'll be honest with you. It looks like a big empanada. That's so good, but so hot. The mozzarella has a completely different flavor and different texture because it was deep fried. You feel very little tomato sauce, but it's a very, very different pizza.
Yep, that is as different as it gets. So I thought, as the next one completely blew my mind, something I never expected to be put on a pizza, and it took me by complete surprise.
We are at Sustable. They have a pizza here that is called Pizza Fiocco, made with potatoes. I've never had a potato pizza before, but I'm hoping it's going to be phenomenal. All right, let's go meet the chef. Oh, there's the chef, Chef Roberto. Wow.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. I heard a lot about your pizza. I'm excited.
My dough, I make it, cook at the pizza, have a soft and crunchy at the same time.
Show me the pizza fiocco. Let's make the pizza.
Yes.
Now this is a pizza dough that is almost impossible to work with. Unlike any other ones you've seen before, this one has a 90% hydration. It is almost water, super hard to work with. But Chef Roberto is a true master and he makes it look easy, stretching that pizza like nothing. But then he asked me to give it a try.
I'm ready to embarrass myself here.
But I'm gonna do it anyway, okay?
Yeah.
This is so hard.
Go.
That's it.
Okay.
Upside down, upside down. That's it.
Okay.
Good job.
Let's try. All right, let's try. It feels like a marshmallow that has been cooked in the fire for a long time, everybody.
More fluffy.
More fluffy, yeah. You don't have to do anything. You just gotta open it. Okay, let me try.
Vai.
That's it.
1,
Yeah.
2.
Good job. Good job.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Oh my God. If it's destroying.
Now there's
1, 2,
and 3.
and 3.
Good job. You did good.
Okay.
Maybe 2 out of 10, everybody. 2 out of 10.
And I'll take a good job from the master anytime. To finish it up, he adds some cream on the bottom, some Parmesan cheese, followed by ham, mozzarella, and the most surprising element on pizza, mashed potatoes, straight from the ricer. And he adds a generous amount of it. He adds Parmesan cheese, olive oil, and black pepper, scoops it up like a true pro, and into the oven he goes. Now take a look at his oven. Almost reminds me of Salt Bay, but Chef Roberto I actually like. Now the most interesting thing about this oven for me is that it has a boost feature. You just gotta step on the pedal and the fire goes up like a flamethrower. Cooking this pizza in about 2 minutes. That's because of the high hydration this dough has. It takes a little bit longer, and at the same time, the bottom doesn't get charred like other pizzas. Now this is Chef Roberto's masterpiece, Pizza Fiocco, also known as potato pizza. It seems weird, but how does it taste?
Let's give it a go. Cheers. Oh my God. Okay, I had a lot of pizza here in Italy. This is the most uniqueness, creative, and delicious pizza I ever had.
It's good, man.
It's so light. Feels like pillowy, everybody. If I'm being honest, the potato, cream, and ham is on another level. 10 out of 10. Will highly recommend, everybody. You are not a pizza chef. You are a magician.
Ah, yeah.
That's what he does.
I have a magic touch.
Yes, you are a magician. I don't understand why he put potato on a pizza, but it works.
Chef Roberto told me that this is the future of pizza, and I agree. I promise you, if you have one bite of this pizza, you understand the reason why. And with so many pizza options so far, I don't understand how this one didn't make the top 10 list in the world, because the next one did. It's actually the #1 pizza in the world 4 times in a row. This pizzeria is hard to get in. You must make reservations. Make sure you're on time. Not only did I have the reservation, but I arrived 30 minutes earlier.
It's been 45 minutes after my reservation, and we still have to wait. They haven't even called our names yet. It's hot outside. They said, we'll call you and let you know when it's your time.
2 hours later.
So reservations means absolutely nothing. It's been over an hour. If you plan on coming here, everybody, and you have reservations, doesn't matter. So we finally got in, everybody. It took quite some time to get in, I'll be honest with you. But we're ready to order some pizza. Let's see how it tastes. I'm excited.
And my very first one to compare and see how it stacks up was the original margarita pizza. Nice and simple, as I'll be able to tell how good the dough is and also the quality ingredients. But things did not go as I expected.
You know what happens? When your expectation is so high and you try a lot of different pizzas and everything else that I've tried has been phenomenal, but it's not out of this world. The crust is not soft and crunchy. Feels heavy and chewy. Even my wife is having the same exact experience. The dough, I'm disappointed. I'm not gonna lie.
Yep, unfortunately the expectation was very high. I would say that this pizza was just average. However, they had a pizza there that I think took them to the top spot. Something I've never seen before. Because this pizza is steamed, fried, and baked. And obviously take a look at the toppings. We have marinara sauce, olives, and one of my favorite things to eat, anchovy. I couldn't wait any longer and had to go in for a bite.
Oh, now that is good. Extremely savory. The anchovies take it to a whole nother level. The crust is very unique. Nothing I've ever experienced before. Oh, I like this. I was upset about that margarita, but this, oh.
I was so ecstatic about this dough that I had to try a different variation, and I am an onion lover. And this one, I truly believe was inspired by French onion soup, as it has many different types of onions cooked in several different ways. But was it as good as the previous one?
It's good, but it's not even close to the other one. This one is very light. It almost feels like you're taking a bite of a French onion soup because it has so much onion. This is not my favorite. The other one with the anchovy is the one that I believe gave them the title of the #1 pizza in the world because This one is all right. Nothing crazy.
For sure, the previous one was much better. But if you ask me, Guga, which one was your favorite pizza you had in Italy? It was definitely this one. Pizza Fiocco. Something I'll spend the rest of my life trying to replicate.
Now, before moving to the next one, I want to thank today's sponsor, Dow Strong. The new year means new gear for your kitchen. Anyone who watches my channel knows how much I love Dow Strong. These knives are beautiful and built to last a lifetime. So you won't be replacing it this time next year. Let me show you some of my personal favorites. Here's the Firestorm Alpha Slicer and Chef Knife. You can really feel how high quality these knives are, plus they stay sharp forever. And if you want something new and exciting, check out the new additions to the Barbarian series. First, the 8-inch Crixus, a chef knife and cleaver hybrid. And then there's a 7-inch Venator, the ultimate crossover of utility knife, hunting knife, and butcher's knife in one. A pair of absolute beasts. So head over to dowstrong.com and gear up like me for another year of epic cooking. But now, let's get right back to it.
After eating all of that pizza, I took some time to go visit the Vatican. And I'll be honest with you, this is breathtaking. But after all that walking, it is hot in Italy. I needed something to cool down.
Coconut gelato with a very interesting crust. I've never seen a crust like that before. Oh man, it is creamy. I don't think there's anything better than a cold ice cream on a nice hot day. Creamiest ice cream you ever have. This crust right here is almost like a croissant crust. I'm excited to try it. I broke it. It is puff pastry full of sugar and a mess.
That was absolutely delicious. And so far on this video, you have seen many different types of foods. However, you have not seen fine dining yet. But now I was about to go on one.
So that right there is rated one of the top 10 restaurants in the world, everybody. Obviously, it's going to be quite pricey, but that's where we're going tonight.
The restaurant is built inside of a natural cave. If you're able to take a boat ride, you go right into the cave system.
So here's inside of the cave, everybody. Wow, beautiful. Now that is something you don't see every day. Then up there is the restaurant. I'll see you tonight.
If you take a look at the coast, there will be a lot of different caves. Some are much more beautiful than others. And if you ever watched cliff diving on TV, most likely you have seen it from here. That's where the Red Bulls competitions are. And even though that is a competitive sport, this place is quite romantic.
So we got a beautiful couple getting married all the way up there, everybody taking pictures. Maybe I should repropose to the wife, huh? Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below.
I would love to hear your feedback on that, because now it was time to enjoy the restaurant. And upon arrival, you gotta go down some sketchy stairs. And on the second floor down, you are greeted with the most incredible view. No wonder why it made the top 10 list. It does not matter where you are seated, it always has a beautiful view. But there's one thing that is quite annoying.
This is an expensive restaurant, everybody. But how is the food? You know what I mean? So minimum $200 per person. That's a hefty amount. There's live music playing. You're right next to the ocean. It's very romantic. I got my lovely wife over here. Say something nice. She's camera shy.
So once we got the menu, the first thing we decided to order was some scallops and pasta. This arrived first. 3 small scallops with a tiny bit of caviar. And the sear on the scallop was not the best.
Look at the amount of caviar that they gave you. Absolutely ridiculous. Let's try this. Don't have much of a reaction for you.
Not only did it taste like an old scallop, the sear was not great, there was very little seasoning, and just a total nightmare. But we were really looking forward to the pasta, and it was a cacio pepe ravioli. You get very little food that is expected. A tiny ravioli with a little bit of prawn, some sauce, and black pepper. Because even though it looked okay, it's all about the taste.
Alright, let's try this ravioli. Let's see, cacio pepe ravioli. It's cold, but it's not bad.
It was ice cold, the flavor was extremely mild, and of course very little amount of food. It was not one of the best, but I asked my wife for her rating.
It's a solid 8.
4 out of 10. Maybe 3 out of 10, I'm not kidding. Maybe I'm just thinking of how much I have to pay the bill. Maybe that's what I'm thinking about, and I'm being extremely critical. And this music on the top is so annoying. Not a 10 out of 10, not at all.
For For the main course, if they put Wagyu on the menu, you know I have to order it.
Wow, they give you 3 little pieces of Wagyu. That's crazy.
It has a leaf on top.
And it has a leaf on top. Make it more expensive. Cheers. The sauce masks the flavor quite a bit, but it is good. It's good. I mean, it has a nice crust. They put a generous amount of sauce in there. You have the caviar as well. If you think I'm going to trash it and say it's bad, it's not bad, everybody. I mean, you start with good quality beef, you're going to end up with a good product, you know? It's not A5. I would say it's probably an A4 or an A3, but overall, it's okay.
I was honestly expecting a steak. I have no idea what I was thinking because I'm in a fine dine setting. 3 little pieces of steak like this is not a main course. That is just insane. And yeah, we were still quite hungry. And the next thing we decided to order was the risotto.
Here's the risotto. I didn't expect it to be that color, but here we are. It smells extremely powerful because they have gorgonzola cheese right here. Cheers. Here's the deal. I might be a little bit biased, but I'm a huge lover of risotto, and I do not hate this.
It is beets risotto. It actually had a floral taste. If you ever tasted saffron, you know what I'm talking about. They put a very funky gorgonzola cheese right on top.
But I want to try with the stinky cheese. Oh, with the stinky feet, it tastes like Oh, that's so bad. Oh, that's terrible.
Whoever thought of putting that stinky cheese on top of this risotto should be in jail. Italians say that we can never break pasta, and I agree. This one should be a crime against risotto. It was not good at all.
Oh, that's so bad. Oh, that's terrible. I'm a beets lover. I love beets.
That's horrible. That's bad.
What does it taste like?
Bad.
Bad. It's just bad, everybody. It's not good.
The prawns were good. Yeah.
You like the ravioli?
Yeah, that one was good. It was sweet. It was nice. It was creamy. This is bad.
And the Wagyu?
No.
She won't even try the Wagyu, everybody. But, I mean, that's our honest review here on this risotto.
At this point, we had several different dishes. I was expecting to pay a lot of money for it. Even though we ate all of these different things, I can't believe we were still starving. So my wife asked for the menu and ordered an additional item, hoping that it was going to be better because that had meat.
So what happened was my wife really liked the previous one, and unfortunately I ate it. So I ordered her another one, and I hope she likes it.
And upon arrival, you see a lot of truffle, but where's the meat? It's all the way on the bottom. It is a beef raviolo from their menu. Now it did came with a lot of truffles, but before my wife took her first bite, I had to make sure that it was good.
This is for her, but first I'm gonna try it. I'm so sorry. Oh, that's so bad. It's supposed to be beef.
She didn't believe me, and after she took a bite,
like old baby food.
It tastes like old baby food. That's a good description. It's mushy.
It's flavorful, but the flavor is not it.
That is the perfect description. Babe, try one more time.
No.
What's for you? It's your dinner.
No. I mean, it gets a 7.
A 7?
Because look at the view.
With the food?
No, a -3. I mean, the view, the place. I mean, this is nice. Don't order a lot. Just order one plate.
You can't. You gotta order a minimum of 3, remember? 200 euros minimum.
Yeah, that's right.
She liked the place. It looks beautiful. It's romantic. But the food is...
not it.
We're still very hungry, believe it or not, even though I'm spending a ridiculous amount of money. We're gonna go to a very inexpensive trattoria right now. Just got the bill. 520 euros.
Pretty much one of the most expensive restaurants I've ever been to. And even though we were still starving, whenever you're in Italy, that's not okay. So we went ahead and ordered some simple pastas, and here's what happened. The very first one is cacio e pepe, made with just a few ingredients: pasta, water, pecorino cheese, and black pepper.
I want to cry. My God. This is so good. It has that hint of black pepper. It's on a whole nother level. It's just so creamy, so simple. I can eat this all day, every day, for the rest of my life.
Next up, carbonara, maybe one of the most popular Roman pastas in the world.
Oh, that is good. So creamy, savory. Everything's coated with the guanciale. The crispiness of these little bits right here is just amazing. So creamy, gooey, cheesy. Wow. Goes to show you that very first restaurant I went to might be pretty, but if you're looking for good food, don't need to spend a lot of money in Italy. Wow.
Remember this, if a restaurant has an incredible view, most likely the food won't be as good, as the best restaurants in Italy are the one that specializes in food, and most of the time they are very inexpensive. Another thing that is inexpensive in Italy is sandwiches, and I'll be honest with you, don't be afraid to try something new, especially if you take a look at this. Most people won't even give it a shot.
He was just telling me a lot of Americans are afraid to try it, you know?
Because they see this,
yeah,
and then they say, oh, it's awful, looks ugly, but the taste is actually like bone marrow, as I said to Google.
At this point, he had me at bone marrow, which is one of the most delicious thing you can eat. And the fact that he puts it on the sandwich, I asked him to go ahead and show me how it's made.
Tell me about this sandwich, the tripa sandwich.
Yeah, this is actually the lampredotto. This is the fourth stomach of the cow, and we boil it in a broth.
So for how long did you boil it for?
Well, at least 1.5 hours.
1.5 hours.
Something that cannot be sold raw, so it's pre-boiled.
Right. I would love to have one. Can you make me one?
Of course, Guga.
Do one that you recommend. This is very popular here, right? It's one of the most popular sandwiches.
The main thing. It's like the Philly cheesesteak for...
Philly cheesesteak for us in the US? Yeah. Oh man, I see.
It's one of those things.
All right, so you got the tripe.
You see there's two parts.
Yeah,
one
I see.
One leaner, one little bit fattier.
Oh, okay. Chop it up. Wow, it looks so tender. Puts it right on the bun.
It's one of those things that the more you cook it, the less is tender.
That's almost look like a chimichurri sauce.
Yeah.
Similar?
But it's not spicy.
And then to finish?
Yes, Guga?
Oh, hell yeah, man. Do you recommend the spicy, right?
Yeah, sure. We do the dip.
Oh, you do the dip? Oh. I see.
The main part.
That looks incredible. I am looking forward to eating this. Thank you so much.
Let me know, huh?
Absolutely. To say I'm excited, it's an understatement. Cheers. Oh my God. Oh wow. Definitely have it spicy because the spiciness, that thing that he puts in there is incredible. Wow, it's quite fatty. It's juicy to the max. And the green sauce that he puts in there, which I have no idea what it is, it's incredible, everybody. Wow. I understand why he's the most popular. I truly understand. Take a look at this. It is fatty, it is juicy, it is flavorful, it's spicy, refreshing, absolutely delicious. Most sandwiches you eat have the traditional stuff, ham, tomato, mozzarella, and other things that you're normally used to. You're not used to this bite right here, everybody. There is no gaminess, there is no off flavor. If you think that this is gonna taste a little bit weird because it's the inners, it's the tripas, and it's the tripe and everything else, no, it tastes amazing. Highly recommend, give it a try, you won't regret it. I know it might sound weird, but it is really good. Thank you for having the experience. Guys, try it. I promise you, you'll know what's best once you take a first bite.
Yep, that sandwich was a 10 out of 10. My next destination was Rome. And here you will see the Colosseum, the Vatican, but most importantly to me, porchetta. You can't go to Rome and not have a porchetta sandwich. And as soon as I saw the first one, I had to give it a go. This place looked quite authentic. They're displaying the porchetta in the front. It looked nice and crispy, so I ordered a sandwich. But instead of making it fresh, they just heat it up in a toaster oven. Oh boy, here we go. Yep, you gotta watch your back whenever you're in Italy. Pickpocketing is everywhere.
Little dry. Oh, actually quite dry. It's porky, but not that porky. Bread is good, sun-dried tomato is good. So what I end up doing is picking the sandwich apart, trying each individual pieces by itself. If I'm being completely honest, the combination of the whole sandwich together is not my favorite. That's the review for this one here. Let's see if I'm able to find a different kind.
This was a complete disappointment. Maybe one of the worst sandwiches of my life. Dry, unseasoned, and with almost zero fat. That is not what you want with a porchetta sandwich. Goes to show you, just because it's Italy, it's not gonna be great. But funny enough, my next location was inside of a market in Rome. And there, I came across to something that almost looks like a museum to me. Now this is a place where you should definitely be having some sandwiches. They make several different types, but one of them caught my attention more than other.
And it is a porchetta panini. I have to have that, everybody. Let's give this a go right now. See how good it is. Just gonna dress it right over there. Ah, looks really good. Hefty slices. It looks delicious, everybody. Got a little bit of crunchiness, a little bit of the meat, the whole loin full of spices. And I also got the crunchy bread right there. Let's see what else she dresses it up. Covers the whole thing. Voila, grazie. Got my porchetta sandwich. As I saw her making, I don't know if you noticed, but she didn't put anything else. This is straight up 100% porchetta. Mm. 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 Oh yeah, man. Wow, and it is so much better than the previous one. I mean, I could tell immediately just by looking at the porchetta the way it was made. Got the perfect color on that crust, and it's also extremely flavorful the inside. Unlike the other one that he had to put pesto sauce, this one is straight up porchetta, and it's not dry. Oh my God, this one is good. Mm. Super crusty bread. You know, the middle of the porchetta tends to be a little bit dry because it's actually the loin, but not this one. And she just put the perfect amount of slices. The contrast between the bread and the meat is the perfect amount. No need for pesto sauce, no need for tomatoes, no need for anything else. This is really good.
And most importantly, I did not need a drink to make it go down. This sandwich was phenomenal. Fatty and crunchy as you would expect from a porchetta sandwich. But now it was time to go to the #1 place.
El Antico Vinaio. Now they have several different locations throughout Italy, but they also have now in the United States. I want to try out at least 2 of them and maybe 3 to see which one is going to be better. But hopefully it's going to be a good sandwich, everybody, because there's so much hype about this. The wonderful thing right now, as you can clearly see, there's not a lot of line, and I like that.
This place is known for 2 things: wonderful sandwiches, which you are about to experience, but also humongous lines. Everyone says that the lines go quite quickly, but lucky enough, I did not have to experience that at all, as I came as soon as they opened up.
So these are all the cities that they have available. Okay, let me have 1 Paradiso, 1 Inferno, and 1 Italiano. Everything is sliced fresh for you. Think of it as a high-end Subway, everybody. That's all I can say. I love that they're slicing the meat fresh. Paradiso, okay? Oh, that is a hefty sandwich. All right, so I want to try the very first one, which has mortadella, everybody, my favorite thing.
Hi guys, can you do a photo?
Yes.
If you want?
Yes. We'll do a photo. This guy is camera shy, everybody.
Hi guys.
But the sandwich is really good.
Thank you.
That right there is the manager of the store. And even though he recognized me and knew who I was, not only did he just wanted a photo, he wanted to let me know which one was his favorite sandwich and wanted to make it for me. That will come up real shortly, because now I gotta be real with you guys with this one.
A few things stands out from normal sandwich. Number 1, the bread. The bread is incredible. It's unlike a focaccia, it's not oily at all. But I think what takes it over the top is the actual meat, freshly sliced for you. That cream that they have on the bottom there is on a whole nother level. This is a good sandwich.
It makes sense that this is their #1 seller. Mortadella, stracciatella, and the cream of pistachio makes a perfect combination. And the bread was just on a whole nother level. The next one, I wanted to try their second most popular, which is the Italiano.
Excellent. Tomato, mozzarella, prosciutto, and basil, and a good quality olive oil. I mean, let's just eat it. Cheers. Makes me mad how good it is. Imagine a caprese salad with prosciutto on top and a very good quality bread. There's no secret here. Anyone can make this sandwich, but it's all about the quality ingredients. Very good sandwich.
If you had to put Italy between 2 breads, this would be it. The prosciutto tomato mozzarella is a classic for a reason. This is good. But my next one, I wanted to try something completely different. It's called Inferno, as it's supposed to be spicy. Let's see how that one stacks up.
Now this is the Inferno, and I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little scared because it's spicy, and me and spices, we're not friends.
That! Woo! Yo, that is spicy, boy! Wow! Oh my god! Bro, my whole mouth is burning! Are you crazy? Are you out of your mind? It's insane! What the f?
Let's take a bite of this one right here. Cheers. Hold up. Still love the bread. This one's not my favorite. This is like eggplant. Yes, it is. This is like rabbit food. Yes, it is. I hate arugula. You have porchetta, but the porchetta is sliced super thin. Oh, the porchetta is delicious. But when you combine all of these things together, man, it's not my favorite. I highly recommend not ordering this one, everybody. The other two are so much more delicious. This rabbit food right here. Who likes this rabbit food, man? That's just stupid. Don't put that on a sandwich.
Do you want another one? I can suggest you another one if you want.
Another one?
Of course.
But it doesn't fit on my belly. I cannot eat the whole thing.
Leave only one.
He says you only leave once. What is your favorite?
My favorite, the number 5. Roasted pork, potato cream made by us, and parmesan cream.
Okay, you show me how to make it.
Of course.
Okay, my friend. Oh, and this is the special bread, huh? Yeah. What is the name of the bread? Not focaccia.
Focaccia.
Oh, it's focaccia? Ah, okay.
I don't want to get my friend fired.
What is the type of bread called?
Schiacciata, which
Schiacciata.
means press, because it's not like really fluffy like a bread, but it's more like a focaccia bread,
Focaccia.
but it's crunchier.
Okay, but crunchier.
This is not focaccia. It's called schiacciata. Even though they might look similar to each other, it is very important to get it right.
The bread looks fantastic. You can see in here all of the ingredients that they have, everything nice and fresh. That's why the sandwich is so good. Slice up the bread. Wow, nice and thin. Love it. Ah, this one is hot.
Our slogan.
I see. Take a look at it. Wow. And there, what is that, my friend?
Parmesan cream made by us.
Parmesan cream. Oh, phenomenal.
It is like creamy cheese.
Oh,
Just that particular because it's not too saucy, it's not too sweet, but it's good to taste.
amazing. It looks incredible. Oh, he's slicing the pork. Everything is nicely sliced fresh. Wow. And it's a hefty amount too.
And behind
Incredible.
we have the potato cream made by us.
Ah, potato cream.
Similar like the classic potato cream, but there is a little bit of pepper, a little bit of salt, and maybe garlic to give us the taste.
Uh-huh. Okay, this one is gonna be good. This is gonna be... Wow. Take a look at that. Are you kidding me?
This is so satisfying to eat.
He puts a little bit of olive oil. That looks like a whole nother level. Packs it up. Boom, boom, boom.
And this is yours.
Wow. Thank you, my friend. What's your name?
Adelie.
If you guys come here, make sure you guys check him out. That is a sandwich and a half, everybody. Oof. It looks incredible, everybody. It looks hefty. Let's go for it. Cheers. Oh my God. I'm speechless. This combo is amazing. It is fatty, rich, creamy, all at the same time. Porchetta, that potato cream that they made, the Parmesan cream on the bottom, olive oil on top, and this crusty bread, everybody. It's on a whole nother level. It is like the Wagyu of all the sandwiches. My favorite one was gonna be with the one with mortadella. I had to change my mind. This is my number one right here.
That porchetta that they sliced fresh was incredible. The potato cream was on a whole nother level. This is something that you can definitely eat and not get ripped off. Unlike what's about to happen next. On today's video, I'm gonna share with you how I got completely ripped off in Italy. Now the funny thing is that I learned a lot, and I want to share my experience with you, because even though I did eat some pasta and I was completely ripped off, I also decided to have some steaks. And oh boy, did I learn a lot. That is coming up right now, because if there's one thing Italy is beautiful. Every city is nicer than the other. When you move from Rome to Naples, it's a completely different place. The same can be said from Florence to Alberobello, which is one of the most unique places I've ever been to in my life. The architecture here is just crazy, and it is a beautiful city, which is the home of Trulli, which are these unique houses that you see. This place is full of hills, and believe me, when you go through it, you get hungry. And the restaurant I found there had something I'm very familiar with. So we decided to go ahead and have some lunch.
So we are currently in Alberobello in Italy. This location is well known for their special houses. It is beautiful. It's a sight to see. The rooftops of the houses are crazy, everybody. I've never seen anything like it. We got a little hungry. We found this restaurant. It looks pretty interesting because all of the other restaurants, they were actually closing up shop. But I got lucky because when I took a look at the menu, they had some Wagyu here. I had no idea. So I went ahead and ordered the Wagyu. I also ordered a lobster pasta. My wife ordered the orecchiette with turmeric turnips. It's gonna be a green pasta.
Let's see.
We got a lobster pasta right here. I will say that this pasta looks incredible, so we're gonna give this a go. Cheers. Spaghetti is cooked al dente, which I like. Little pieces of shrimp right here. I'm definitely gonna get inside of that lobster. Check that out. I'm wondering if they're gonna get really upset if I order Parmesan cheese. Should I order?
No.
My wife said no because they look very serious here. So I don't want to offend any Italian. I thought this was gonna be orecchiette. It's just tomatoes. Oh, no, wow. The pasta is not that great, I'll be honest. But this tomato is in a whole nother level.
Here the biggest issue I had with this pasta. Number one, it was lacking seasoning. And maybe the worst one of them all is that the seafood was overcooked. Because the ingredients are so fresh in Italy, the tomatoes made it not that bad. But even though this was okay, as the next thing I decided to order was the Wagyu. And remember what they stated in the menu, an A5 Wagyu. So this thing had to be real good.
Oh wow, so the Wagyu has just arrived. I can tell immediately a few things. The mashed potatoes seems to be quite runny, but the Wagyu is right there. It doesn't look like A5. I think I'm getting ripped off in Italy right now. Let's see. No, the fact that they're calling this Wagyu A5 is a disgrace. Okay, so that was not the best restaurant. I will say the location is beautiful, everybody, but it does seem like a tourist trap and they're treating you like one. Number one, that was not a Wagyu steak. It's not even a Wagyu A1, which is the lowest grading there is. Not only was it not fatty enough, it didn't have the flavor, it wasn't tender. They still kept the silver skin and have the silver skin there for you to eat it. But I'll be honest with you, the pasta wasn't great. My wife didn't eat all of her food either. We are still hungry and we gotta look for some more food. On top of that, the bill was 95 euros. But this location is beautiful. That's that restaurant review. Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad, and sometimes it's shit.
Here's something to remember whenever you see Japanese Wagyu A5 on the menu. This is a marketing strategy most restaurants use. A Japanese Wagyu A5 would never look something like this, especially given to you with silver skin, and you can clearly see that it's not as fatty as it's supposed to be. When in Italy, don't order a Japanese steak. Try to get something more traditional, like bistecca florentina, which is what they're known for. However, on my next stop, I was shocked to see certain things.
You can see all the meat hanging out, completely unrefrigerated. That right there is not a good sign. This man just came out of the restroom and went ahead and started carving meat immediately. I'm quite picky where I have my meat, everybody, and safety is your #1 priority. And if things are not refrigerated, bacteria can grow. It's not a good sign. Zero sanitation. And it's definitely somewhere I would not buy meat at all. This is horrendous.
Be aware of these locations, everybody. Meat should always be refrigerated. If not, bacteria can grow quite quickly. So I would definitely not order meat from there. But even though we're talking about meat, Italy is known for pasta. And there's one thing that I was really looking forward to. And you've probably seen this being done many times, which is to cook the pasta inside of a cheese wheel. However, little did I know that this was going to be another tourist trap that I was attracted to. And the first sign was this, them having a lady in front of the restaurant making the pasta fresh for you. This is not a good sign, so definitely keep an eye on for that. But as soon as I walked into this restaurant, I was ready to place an order and see if it was good or bad.
So they do have bistecca alla florentina, but I already had that in several different restaurants. I want to try something different and just see how they cook it, if it's going to be different or not. I also order the Parmesan pasta where they cook it inside of the Parmesan wheel. I'm excited to try it. So this is bread that they brought over. It reminds me of punch cake. Hopefully it's going to be good. Oh, it's just fried dough, like fried pizza dough, everybody. Not the best. Here's the caprese salad. Seems like they put a generous amount of black pepper on the top over there. We have some fresh tomatoes. These tomatoes look incredible. Nothing crazy. This caprese salad is like whatever. Okay, so she's gonna do it right there. I see. She puts it first, and then she flambés it. Now she scrapes it. Now she went inside to bring the pasta, and I think she's gonna bring it nice and hot and melt it together with the cheese. Oh, a generous amount of pasta in there. Oh, she's melting everything together, mixing the whole thing, and she goes ahead and places it up. The final product, nice and hot and ready to be tried. Oh yeah, it's good, creamy, kind of soupy. The pasta is freshly made for sure, as I saw them doing it on the front over there. I mean, it's nothing special. It's not like crazy delicious, life-changing, but it's a good one. And here's their take on lasagna. The ragu lasagna, very different than what I'm used to. I can feel the truffle oil. This lasagna is not good. And here we have the tortelloni. Inside there's spinach and ricotta. Oh wow, this is so bad. I don't understand why they put rabbit food inside of the pasta. This was a 0 out of 10. And the steak has arrived, everybody. This one is actually not cooked raw. It's actually medium rare, which I like. However, you can immediately tell that this crust just as I expected. It is not seasoned properly. The crust is not good. It is chewy. Give me a second, I gotta chew.
One eternity later.
Oof. If you want to get ripped off, everybody, this is the place for you. What a complete disappointment. Tourist trap. So that is the definition of a tourist trap. There's not one Italian person eating in there, and for good reason, everybody. It's all about that pasta show, making the pasta in the front of the shop so that it can lock you in to think that that's the most authentic way. They charge you an arm and a leg for it. They charge you a cover charge just for you to sit down on the table, to share a table. I didn't film people next to me, and you're not sitting it by yourself. It's actually a community table. There was more people. But not only that, the food is just average. You know, that rabbit food pasta that we order over there is just a complete nonsense. Terrible. The steak is just, what a disaster. The chewiest, unevenly cooked, improperly seasoned, worst steak I had in Italy. But that is how I got tricked on going to a tourist trap. Hope you guys enjoyed this video and learned something new, because I definitely did. If you did, hit that thumbs up. If you're not a subscriber, be sure to subscribe. And I'll see you guys on the next one. Don't fall for it like I did.